5:50 on Tuesday morning. I have a little route, just 2 deliveries to do on an app called Metrobi. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It is, if you're in the city, it's a really good app because the majority of their stuff is downtown in the city. They do anywhere from box lunch, catering, but from what I've seen, you don't have to set it up, you're just delivering it. It's more like local restaurants, not chain restaurants. What else have I seen on there? I did a Cookies by Design, not this past Valentine's Day, but last Valentine's Day. That's how I found them. However, this Valentine's Day, they didn't have that. I called Cookies by Design and they said that they were no longer using them. But I made really good money on that. Last weekend, I did a small little Italian bakery in Schaumburg. I did 2 deliveries for them. And actually, on Metrobi, you can become a preferred driver for a customer, which I did for them. But I also chatted with them, like I told you guys in a previous video to do. And I might be working for them, like for them not to go through Metrobi, because their caterings seem to be off lunchtime. Like they don't really do lunch ones. They do more to homes. Friday I did to a funeral home, things like that. So it's always important for you guys to speak to the restaurants and try to get that partnership with them so that they can sometimes bypass you. If they have to pay a monthly fee, so I'm sure that they'll keep doing the smaller ones and I'll just keep grabbing them. But for the larger ones, because obviously Metrobi keeps a percentage of not your tip, because the tips I think come from the customer at the delivery, but they keep a percentage of what the restaurant is paying Metrobi to pay us, which every app does, so that's not like that's a big deal. But today it's a catering place called Alanti. They're downtown, which you guys know I won't touch, but this one is in Itasca, which is like a 15-minute drive for me. And then I have 2 stops. When it came across the board, I tried to get it because you have to join an auction, and it depends on your stats and who else is in the auction if you get the order or not. But nobody else wanted this, and I wanted it because the pickup's at 6:15 in the morning. It came in for $43. I'm like, it's going to take me an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes when I make $43. Doing anything else? Probably not. So I tried to take it, and it didn't. It like went off the board, like it gave it to somebody else, but it didn't, and it came back at $58. So this is what I'm doing up this early in the morning. So I have this, which is just, like I said, 2 drops, 2 easy drops. And then I have 2 Dlivrds. I have a breakfast for, I think, $28 for Krispy Kreme, which is super easy, coming right back towards my house. I think it's 2 dozen donuts, and I'm getting $28. And then for lunch, I have a $100 order dropping off or picking up at Potbelly if you're local in Crystal Lake, and dropping off like a mile away with no setup for $100. So I'm set up pretty well for the day, and I possibly have another catering order. I told them if they couldn't find anybody to let me know, and I can I might be a few minutes late to that, but that's off of Ding Dong to Go, which would be another $35. So not bad for a Tuesday. It is raining, hence the hat. It's raining pretty hard, and it's supposed to rain all day, which doesn't make me happy, but maybe it'll make people start to order. So that's good. But if you guys are interested in Metrobi, it's Metrobi. Like I said, if you're in the city, it's a really good filler app because they have these weird times. So, and they allow you, like right now, there's 3 Alantis on the board for, I think they were $17 each last night. I haven't looked today. And they were each going like 2 miles, but they would allow you to grab all 3 of them and stack them pick them up at once, deliver them, easy. So I don't know if they're everywhere. Honestly, I have no idea, but it's a pretty good app to have as a backup. And like I said, if they start getting more things out in the suburbs, I'll start doing more. But I did get a good connection with the Italian bakery in Schaumburg, and the guy is super nice. So if you guys start to talk to people, you'll have an advantage. And I don't mean this disrespectfully to anybody, but when I talked to the guy from the bakery in Schaumburg, he was so excited that I would be interested in doing deliveries for him, because he will not use Easy Cater. He does not like them. And he was using Fuda, and Fuda gave him Metrobi's information, and he signed up. But he said out of all the deliveries he's done, I was the first one that came that actually spoke English. So, again, no disrespect, but if you start making connections like that, and they realize that you do a great job and their customers like you, that's when they're going to start using you exclusively. So make sure that you guys are talking even to chain restaurants. Some of them have their own, they'll use somebody for catering, like the local pizza place out here, Giordano's. Was it Giordano's or was it Lou Malnati's? I think it's Giordano's. And they'll start using you because they don't have their own drivers. And again, they want somebody that they know that they can trust and that their customers are going to like. So make that a priority if you guys are thinking about, that your apps aren't paying you enough or that you don't have enough jobs. Go out there and hustle and try to get your own jobs. So that's just my piece of advice for the day. But if you want more information on Metrobi, let me know in the comments. I can drop their link down there. I have no idea if there's a referral code or not. I can check. But thanks for everyone that's starting to comment on my videos. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you can like this video, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed already, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys are making lots of money and have a really great day. Hi guys. So it's about 10:30 and I'm headed to my second Dlivrd for the day. I finished the 2 Metrobis this morning and my breakfast from Dlivrd, and now I'm going to be about a half hour early, but I don't want to try to risk getting anything in between and being late because, I got to get those stats up. But I don't know if I mentioned this morning or not, but my Metrobi, the first one, did show a $20 tip on there. So if I added that tip plus the 2 delivery fees that were on the on the invoices that I have, because with Metrobi, I guess for this you have to have them sign the invoices, and the second one did not have a tip. When I went and delivered it, I set it up, and the lady was very nice, and she added a $26 tip, and she said, I don't know if I'm doing this right. She's like, I never know if we have to add on or not, so I don't tip when I place the order, and I always just put it on when I sign this invoice. She's like, am I doing that correctly? I said, honestly, I don't know. This is the first time that I've really done anything for them, so like tip-wise, so I don't know. Well, it comes out we don't get that tip. So like I said, the 2 delivery fees and the 1 tip totaled out to about what I got paid, just like a couple cents off, 50 cents maybe. So I called the restaurant to ask them, do I need to drop off this invoice because she signed it and added a tip? And he said no, because I took a picture and uploaded it. And I said, does my pay increase? And he's like, unfortunately, no. Metrobi doesn't do it that way. It's you get your, whatever, the rate that you were taking the order at is what you get paid. And I'm like, that kind of, it's not right. I didn't tell him that. I just, thanked him and whatever. But as I was telling my husband, I'm like, that's not really right because that tip should come to me. But I get it. And the $58 that I did in an hour and a half still was a good payment. So I just wanted to be upfront with you guys that if you get tips after the fact, you don't get them. So I asked him, was the $20 tip included in mine? And he said no. I think that it was. So I want to do another order for them that has a tip and see if it still equals out, because if the delivery fees and the tip equal out to what I'm getting paid, then if they pre-tip, then I'm pretty certain then I'm getting it. But if they don't, he said the only way that we get the tip is if they tip us in cash. So still, I don't like the fact that they don't give us the tips. I worked for that tip. I set that order up with her, and she tipped me, not whoever is going to get it, which I'm assuming the restaurant keeps it. But I'm also assuming, because now I've watched them on Metrobi, and they start out at a rate and it keeps going up and up and up. So I'm assuming that those tips somehow get, not to me, but used for somebody, hopefully me for the next time. But I just wanted to be upfront with you guys and let you know that whatever you get, whatever you accept that order as, is what you're going to get, unless, of course, you get a cash tip. So I just wanted to be clear. I still think it's a really good filler app. I wouldn't do it for lunch because I don't think that's going to be worth it. But these early morning ones, and the other day when I did the bakery, it was like at 2 o'clock, and it was going like 2 or 3 miles, and it was $17. I mean, and it was literally 2 trays of sandwiches. It was no big deal. So I do want to keep them. I'll see the next time that I take the Salante one, I'm going to ask them, because they did rate me and they gave me a 5-star. So I'm going to see if maybe they want to work with me directly instead of going through Metrobi. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew everything that was going on, and I hope that you're having a great day. I hope it's not raining where you are, because this rain has got to go. It like comes down really hard and then stops, and it never fails. Once I take the hat on and put my hair up, it'll start raining again. So, and the hat really isn't for my hair, it's for my glasses. I hate when the water splashes on my glasses and I'm constantly having to clean it. So, but anyways, hope you guys are having a good one, and we'll chat later.